Good morning, I'm Veronique and I'm back to a new videos on Scope International Society. So today I'm going to speak about the dissertation focused on the Ministry of Defense. Previously discussed, I've been edit some information regarding that. So the subject of the second dissertation, which is the completion from the first dissertation to the second dissertation, is the following. Additive Manufacturing International Organizations optimize the Ministry of Defense supply chains management. This dissertation will discuss about additive manufacturing technology at the Ministry of Defense of UK, focus on the development of additive manufacture as the capacity to eliminate the process of the supply by the process of ISO through additive manufacturing. The aim of the dissertation is the development of ISO can produce effective 3D prints and are more agile to the supply chains of the Ministry of Defense. The objective is ISO standard. For 3D print standard must be adopted by the Ministry of Defense to be enabled to develop the supply chains network. Let's start with the literature review. Through the literature review, it has been discussed the following informations. This is an important piece of work because organizations today are challenging with the development of the change market due to the change of the market that impact the whole supply. Fortunately, to improve that challenge, organization technology has to be developed and be able to control the supply chains. This study discusses about the impact the supply chains efficiency for the development of ISO for AM at mode. AM since it is a progressive technology that can optimize and convey it as an exceptional quick move time can develop markets, make client devotions and grab illusion opportunity to meet the best case of the supply chains. It is an opportunity to meet the prerequisites of the supply chain that produce to the market, such as the conveyance at the exceptional lead time and restrictions on the calendar that influence the universe exchange. The subject is susceptible because its investors sees the organization military and analysis part how the additive manufacturing is challenging with the need of standardize which influence the technology to go forward to require the opportunity market. Through the research, there is a different step that has been discussed, such as the strategy alliance, the production management, the agile manufacturing focus on the technology, product development, and raw material. So let me start it with the strategy alliance. Strategy alliance are when organizations lacking collaborations on the confidentiality, regulations, and technology that impact the supply chains. For the military, it is an advantage and disadvantage because the mission is to protect the nations. When collaboration is established in the supply chain, fortunately, the supply chains of modes and the Ministry of Defense can be more secure and more operational. The productions management flow has an impact on the overall planning of the supply chain's efficiency over available costs and equipment. However, the flow projections can be lead to the significant situation that can affect the efficiency of the supply chains. Example, the military, for security reasons, has been forced to not share the violence of the weapon with their subcontractor. It is a barrier because the control following software, computer aided design, computer aided engineer, computer aided projections and planning, and this impact the planning of MRPP to edit the real-time data into the system. To improve that, the Ministry of Defense need to choose and share which type of projections planning will be better to use and the technology that will be appropriate to overcome the challenge. Agile manufacture. What is agile manufacture? The technology agile manufacture, the military has to have objective to have advanced technology to provide real-time data. Fortunately, additive manufacturing software and technology has artificial intelligence, additive manufacture, robotic and computer design manufacture have the capability to track and edit real-time data, but it has been found that the technology lack of advancement and that creates and maintain failure, material shortage, and inaccurate tools, informations that create for poor design, inaccurate stability in the system. Fortunately, the technology has the capability to design very complex materials. Then on the production development, additive manufacture in the ministry presents a multiple challenge focused on the technology, and this impact the development of material. In order to have an efficient design and the process implementations, the design evaluation specifications and integrations can list the step for any kind of projects and make people process technology. What is additive manufacture materials? Additive manufacture materials is a new emergency technology capable of producing material in the same location as an approximately patient's facility and eliminates all costs through the supply chains. But the challenge for additive manufacture is that there is a failed material available for the same characteristic of the material. This is a big issue and brings due to the restrictions. There are more rules on ethics and regulations to produce data from competitor. This is agreed by the military because they report that the technical can be used in a good and bad manner. And inventory management. Inventory management creates efficiencies through the supply chain when advanced technology and accurate forecasting are established by the proper and inventory management method. The military challenge was to face and enforce events impacting the management of the stock. What is the benchmarking through the supply chains and what is the impact to assurance quality? ISO standard impact the supply chains because that make the organizations to adapt to the norm of the ISO for ASTM, American Society for Testing Material, ISO TC 264, and CNAC, European Committee for Standardization, Universal Standardizations. But the challenge impact the AT regulation and standardizations. Fortunately, benchmarking and quality assurance implementation adaptations are among the Ministry of Defense and the stakeholder can impact the whole international additive manufacture for additive manufacture via its supply chains. Fortunately, what is additive manufacture? Many people must ask questions. What is the technology? Additive manufacture through the print handle the process of training materials to make objects from layer or material upon layer. This technique starts with 3D dimension computer and design models and used as a computer agglomerate. Additive manufacture can reproduce complex design geometry of low volume projections, replacement part, shaped in a way that reduces the assembly in the manufacturing process, such as the Dutch materials convert a traditional 16-piece process, including with nuts and cope, into assembly to allow Airbus to print and land wings of 500 km in 1 hour at a rate of 4,000 feet, following meets the demand of the motor. This technology has a large agreement of manufacturers such as motor, consumer product, vehicle, medicine, industrial, business, machine, architecture, academic, government, industry that use the manufacture of defense or create an operation effective through its supply chain, such as for increased design free in increased viability of no volume productions, better design geometry in the materials. Additive manufacturing can reduce the logistics, reduce obsolescence, bad nesting, equipment available, and ability to repair damaged materials. But there is some challenge that the ministry need to improve, and this will be discussed for how additive manufacturing and mesh technology must develop its ethical agreement for the flow of raw materials and inventory for produce and effective supply chains in the military. For the mode UK use to pretentious benefit for the defense, such as VAT photopolymerizations, beading sheeting, direct energy depositions, powder bath fusions, material extrusions, and material sheeting. Inventory material must adjust to inventory for client benefit with a vision to target the stock by shading the time and put in amount and quality and the target to load time. Luckily, additive manufacturing at the depth of the Ministry of Defense is an opportunity to streamline the supply chains, where sailors stock moving from port of sale to deliver the final distribution from serving costs. Radar can make a stock control to be adapted via the classified investigations, VED, vital, essential, desirable, ABC method analysis, fast mobile, slow and unusual. VFSN, seasonal item refer to non-seasonal item, SOS, and government remark a local or thread source supply. This is a kind of control inventory that can be used through mode so that they can classify the type of supply, the type of the stakeholder they are working with to establish the supply chains. In conclusions, additive manufacturing for the Ministry of Defense as an emerging technology and packed to match the list of raw materials and technology to the high level of variety of flavor capability which affect because there's not much printer available of the materials. It has been found that the army needs to develop its security in terms of data because the technology has a tacit data that can be translated by a potential computer. To eliminate the empirical event, the army has a high technology to track eventual events in order to always have a stock for any graph poor. Fortunately, stock management can be accurate following the list of inventory control, which has been evidence. In conclusions, the research literature review demonstrates that as being discussed, the research demonstrates the capability that a mode can have to the supply chains, and also through the research we have been conclude the impact that the technology can have. It's aptitude manufacturing in the army, but the image technologies and impact the market, the list of raw materials and technology, and list of variety of flavor as I said earlier. So the benchmarking, let me talk about the benchmarking. As the Military of Defense objectives is to really focus on the development of benchmarking and international standard. The benchmarking is approximately accompanied and comes about with the leading organizations within the world and are getting beneficial come about with Thailand. This process help organizations distinguish advance by comparing other form and selections the forest most suitable form pattern to all sort of business based on the target benchmarking. It is partitioned into three categories: common code of conduct that they share, keep the data secret. For example, additive manufacturing international standard organizations are a major problem due to the slow adaptations of additive manufacturing system in an industrial process to the lack of standard that slowing down the development of the technology. Lack of collaborations between military and subcontractor and contractor, add with eventual copier and additive manufacturing technology. Fortunately, the internal law in form of copying and power that cannot be used in the good to move. Fortunately, to eliminate the risk, ISO TC 260 can standardize the process quality agreements of ASTM, American Society for Testing, created in look, and this standardization is used for multiple industries. Fortunately, in this case, additive implemented the ISO implementation. This impact the supply chains. ASTM, European Committee for Standardization, CEN, like European Committee for Electrical Standardizations, fortunately, analyze and comparing the performance of projects standardized from different stakeholders can improve standard development through the benchmarking supply chains. Quality assurance can characterize the relationship between the methods in the system of quality guidelines and apply process guideline tests, strategic quality parameters, supply and sessions, harmonizations by process with the International Institute on British Standard of the following standard: ISO 900 quality management, quality assurance standard. ISO 901 quality system, quality assurance in the design development. ISO 901 quality system, quality assurance in the design development assurance standard. ISO 902 quality system model for quality assurance in the productions and installations. ISO 903 quality assurance for quality assurance in inspections testing. ISO 904 governance of the standard of customer and vendor computer design from via a right software that provide the tools. In conclusions, the research literature demonstrate that additive manufacturing in mold via its supply chain agility. The following list of objectives such as supply chains, agility, manufacturing, ISO. The key issue of the research were about facing a lack of standard that affected the supply chains of the Ministry of Defense. Through the research, it has been found that the control of supply chain traditions on the strategy alliance, additive manufacturing impact the effectiveness of the Ministry of Defense supply chains management. Fortunately, that make easy the development of ISO about the contractor of the Ministry of Defense. The study demonstrates that Ministry of Defense are in very strong attitude the responsibility of cover the security of nuts of the software. So additive manufacturing technology that must be studied before being used by the stakeholder for effectiveness of the supply chains. For the next video, following this literature review that have been shared, the next video is going to be focused on the rationalizations of the study. Why did I choose additive manufacturing to be studied here? Following with the research method that will be also edited in that way. Thank you very much, and I see you later for a new videos. And also I will add, for those who are very interested about getting information regarding the dissertations, as I say, through my pages, I have LinkedIn link who are providing the full research, the full dissertation. So for some of you who would like to have extra information regarding the dissertations, let's connect to my LinkedIn and let's connect to our Facebook pages to have more information. Thank you very much for your listening, and I say see you later. Thank you. Bye.